lovely human. Welcome to the Little Flower Oracle. My name is Krista, and I deliver the messages and frequencies you need to align to your most authentic soul, nature, and path. For today's reading, we are doing a pick a flower reading that asks the question, are you on the right path? It's as simple as that. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. You can choose group number 1 with the purple carnation, group number 2 with the purple mum, or group number 3 again with another purple carnation, and I will see you in the reading. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to the Little Flower Oracle. My name is Krista, and I deliver the messages and frequencies you need to align to your most authentic soul, nature, and path. Today, we are doing a pick a flower reading that asks the question, are you aligned on your path? Are you on the right path? I'm going to dig in a little bit and see what's going on your current path, see how aligned you are with your most authentic soul path and what you're doing right and where you might be able to shift. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to do a channeled message from the beautiful fuchsia carnation that you chose. I'm going to put her right up to the camera so you can see how beautiful she is. First of all, I just want to say I believe carnations are a very underrated flower. Look how absolutely gorgeous this flower is. And is it? Let me see. I don't think this is no, this is not a dyed flower. I'd be surprised if it was. It is gorgeous. Maybe it is, but either way, look how pretty it is. So I'm going to do, yes, a channel message from this carnation, and we shall see what she has to say to you. On your highest path, you'll feel so loved, so seen, so acknowledged and appreciated for exactly who you are in your truest essence, in your truest nature. This is not some profound energy when you're in this space. This is something that is simple and honest and natural. It feels like home. It feels like rest. It feels like I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. When you are on your highest path, you feel calm, centered, stable, supported, known, comfortable, safe, and surrounded by those who would do anything for you, to see you happy, to see you smile, surrounded by those who would never want to live without you. If you're in this energy now, or you feel it coming, then you'll know that you are on your highest path. Alrighty. Thank you, beautiful carnation. So I'm going to set this carnation right up here so that we have her presence with us. Wow. We're going to get that focused back in here, down here. Let me see. That's blurry. Okay, there we go. So yeah, the carnation's gonna set right up here. And for your overarching oracle card, I pulled a messages from your animal spirit guides card, and let's see what you got. You got the cardinal. I love that. Interestingly, when I was channeling that message, it was reminding me of a childhood best friend and how I felt when I spent time at her house. I felt at home. I felt just like I could be myself. I felt safe, comfortable, and like those energies of just someone accepting you for who you are, just loving you for who you are, and just feeling like you belong somewhere. That was kind of coming through. And the cardinal is my childhood best friend's mom passed away a couple of years ago. And she had like a cardinal tattoo, and the cardinal is very symbolic of her. And So I just thought that was something to acknowledge. There could be some messages from loved ones who've passed on in this reading, but ultimately it was more about a remembrance of what it feels like to belong somewhere. And in that time during my life, I was like 7th grade, like I would say like 7th to 9th grade is when I felt those feelings. And it's one of those things where you don't know you have it when you're in it. Like you don't know how comfortable and safe and seen and just a part of something you feel until like later when you're older and you look back and you kind of feel it. It's an interesting feeling. So a lot of nostalgia is coming through. I feel like if you are feeling this nostalgia energy in your life recently or now, it is a message from a part of you that experienced those emotions, those feelings. That part of you from that period of time in your life has a message for you. And there's a message to listen to that message. Listen to that message, yeah. To take heed to it. What are these energies bringing up for you? So how are they making you feel? What are they making you remember about yourself? Because there's something here. I feel like we get nostalgia for a reason, because it's something that, yeah, like the physical circumstances might be gone, but the energy is still who you are. It's still a part of who you are. It's still informed who you are. And it can still always remain a part of who you are in a healthy way. If we let it. So yeah, there's something about your past that's coming back to remind you of who you are. So let me read the message here on this card. It says, the polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. So do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. All right. So I think I'm going to leave that there for now and see how that message fits in once I pull a few more cards. But I'm going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards from the Gateway Oracle and see what else we get. What does group number 1 need to hear? Is group number 1 on the right path, on their highest path? And for the record, I don't necessarily believe there's ever a quote right path. I just think there's a more resonant one where we're more connected to our purpose, where we're more connected to love, where we're more connected to love for ourselves and acceptance for where we're at. I don't know if I believe in like one right path, because we have free will and we're always going to be human, and so we could take quote missteps, but they're never missteps because you always learn from them. So it's that kind of feeling. So we'll see what comes through in the cards. Okay, so we've got 2 here. We've got expecting miracles. Miracles are blossoming in my life. And launching your journey. I am an intrepid traveler sailing forth into the universe. Okay, so immediately from these 2 cards, I'm feeling whirlwind energy. I'm feeling as if change is imminent. The cardinal itself is very symbolic universally for like a messenger from the spirit world. And it feels like a messenger from the spirit world is coming through to say, it is time. It is time to make bold moves. It is time to make a change in your life. It is time to answer the call to follow that path that you've been longing for, that you've felt nudged towards. It is time to take action. It is time to put yourself out there. There is this big burst of energy and wind at your back to push you forward into the next era and phase. And it feels it's imminent and it's fast. So whatever that means for you is whatever that means for you. But it could be with this travel card, launching your journey. You could literally be moving and changing locations. You could be moving forward into a new venture in your life, like how it says sailing forth into the universe, like I'm an intrepid traveler. You could be pushing forth a spiritual pursuit or agenda, some sort of labor of love, some sort of act of generosity to the universe. It really feels like you could be putting something out into the world that is going to make a difference for many people. You've got so many spirit guides in the divine on your side right now, assisting you in so many different ways, even if you can't see it, or you're not fully feeling it. You're very surrounded by angels and guides and helpers, and it feels like you can't miss this shift that's coming for you, this change, this, like, if you're at a fork in the road, you'll know, like, the signs will be glaring. Like, it will be like, this way, right over here, lights, and, like, the only way you can miss this is if you just blatantly ignore it. It feels very guttural, like a gut instinct is going to surge through you. It feels like all elements are happening at once. Like your gut instinct's on board. The signs all around you are pointing to this. Literally, like, it's like signs will show up in your immediate reality that are too hard to ignore. It's like uncanny shit is going to be going down. So you can't miss this change that is imminent and that is meant for you. That's the main message. I'm going to pull a couple more cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle. I feel abundance. I feel joy and lightness and lightheartedness and so much. It's like if there's a change happening in your life and you're stressed about it, the stress doesn't need to be there because there's so much assistance for you that you barely have to do anything. It's like you just have to show up when you're called in little moments. You don't have to worry about this. You don't have to stress about this. You don't have to overanalyze it or overthink it, because step by step by step by step, the answers will unfold before you. The path will unfold before you. You don't need to worry about it. Just take one step at a time and trust. And not only that, there's so much levity here. So it feels almost like you're going to enjoy this process, enjoy this change, be excited for the change, be hopeful and anticipate the change in a positive way. So it doesn't feel negative at all. So if there's any negative, it's more so an internal discomfort with change itself. And that might need to be shifted or looked at and just kind of be more, like, learn how to be more excited as opposed to fearful or worrisome or controlling about it. Okay, so we've got, if that's not confirmation, a change in the wind. And I literally said earlier, the wind will be at your back, like pushing you forward. Number 12. Here, I think I'm gonna put that up there. Make sure we have enough room. And then we've got peace. Number 23. I agree. I think that so much peace is accessible to you right now. harmony is accessible to you, experiencing the miracle and magic of just how much the universe has your back during this shift. First of all, my prompt for this reading is, are you on the right path? And yes, 100% you're on the right path. Especially if you are planning to make a big change in your life coming up soon, there's a huge yes from the universe. So yes, make this change, move forward with it. It's exactly what you need. It's exactly where you're meant to go. Even if sometimes it doesn't make logical sense, it is exactly the truth for you. Oh, one more card wants to come out. And then number 17 with the fates. Number 17 is the star card in tarot. So this step forward, this change is leading you towards your destiny. It's leading you towards a faded relationships, faded circumstances, faded locations, faded like, it's like making me think of like the wind, like picking you up, and like everything, like all these circumstances, angels, guides, like all these things have been set into motion even years ago. Like everything working together and you landing in the perfect position and situation where everything feels aligned, and you feel like that initial feeling we got with that feeling at home, feeling safe, feeling comfortable, feeling like you're somewhere where people see you, get you, love you. And it just is. It's like a family feeling, like a chosen family. It could be blood family too, but just like a feeling of like rightness. That's the best way to describe it. Yeah, so I'm going to pull some tarot from the Guardian of the Night Tarot and see what else we get. Yeah, you are so on the right path. And there's this message to get excited. Like, it's okay to be excited about what's to come. Allow yourself to, quote, get your hopes up. Allow yourself to expect the best case scenario to happen. Allow yourself to realize that you deserve it. You're so worthy of feeling amazing in your body, feeling amazing in your circumstances, feeling like you look around yourself and you see yourself reflected back to you in the people and in the circumstances of your life. Yeah, that right. Everything is right. Everything is right. Like, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. Thank God I went forward with this. Thank God I did this, because this is right. All right, so what else wants to come through for group number 1? Is there anything that they can shift? Anything that they need to know in this change, in this journey, in this shift and change in the wind? All right, here we go. Okay. We've got the 9 of Swords. Okay, some of you might be worrying about this change. 5 of Pentacles. Are we worrying about material resources? Are we worrying about that our needs won't be met wherever we're going? Okay, let's keep pulling cards, and I might need to get some clarity. And then we've got the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. So there's a message here that with the change in the winds above this, 5 of Pentacles, there's a message here that if you're concerned about material resources, that there's a positive change happening soon in that area of your life. This could be anything related to material, money, transportation, homes, like if you're moving homes, anything that's related to the material. There's a positive shift happening in your life here, and anything that you will need in the material world will be provided to you, and it's not something that you have to worry about. Any worries around material resources will be soothed. You can trust that your needs will always be met. This change is faded, and again, that energy that came through with all of that external support, all of that spiritual support, and it does really feel like things have been set in motion for years now. Like things have been happening for years now, and everything's finally lining up. And it just feels like that includes the resources behind, like you're not going to be called to do something in the physical world or make a change in the physical world if you're not going to be provided for in that. So that's not something to worry about. That's the main message. We've got the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. So a king and a queen, air and earth energy. This could be a relationship. That's the first thing that came through was a thought about a relationship. And because like we've got the cow here his body is facing left and the owl's body is facing right, but their heads are both facing forward. And so it's almost like there's a message here about a relationship. And this could be platonic, romantic, familial, whatever resonates with you. But in this relationship, it's like we're moving away from each other, but we're both looking in the same direction. So there's a message not to worry. Like if you feel like you're moving away from a partnership or a certain relationship that you're worried about moving away from or losing, there's this message of, in the grand scheme of things, this is just a blip in time. And you'll always be together in spirit and supporting each other on your respective journeys when you have to separate. And when the time is right, it's like when the time is right, we will come back together. But this separation, this drifting away from one another is necessary for both parties' growth and expansion. And when or if these two parties come back together, they will be in a much more harmonious, balanced energy. And it's one of mutual respect and self-respect, and one where there's more of a magnification of one another's gifts and self-sovereignty and like their own color and light and freedom. It's almost like it just reminded me of two people who separate and they learn more about themselves on their own respective journeys. And then they come together with this inner knowledge and this inner knowing and this self-respect and this self-love that had they not gone on those respective journeys, they'd be missing this crucial piece to their relationship. And like, it's a necessary piece to the relationship. It's something that is like a core tenet of how that relationship is going to exist moving forward. So that's a reassurance and a comfort of if you have to walk away from someone, just a knowing that that's what's meant to be. And there's no, of course, guarantees as we are human on earth, but it's this feeling of this has to happen. And whether we come back together or whether we end up staying apart, it will be completely mutual and understood on both sides, and it will be chosen on both sides, whatever decision happens. both people will understand why that is the decision that had to happen. Okay, interesting. And with Pentacles and Swords being the two energies that came through with that, it's like air and earth. So yeah, very two distinctly different energies, and it just really feels like, yeah, one energy is working more on their connection to abundance, their connection to the earth and their own bodies and their ability to provide for themselves and others. And then the other party is working on self-respect, working on healthy boundaries, working on, it's making me think of like writing, like using your voice, like asserting, like finding their voice, finding out who they are. I love these crowns on here are both like lit up, and it's like these two people are going on respective journeys to like light up their crown chakras and their self-worth and like their inner knowing. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And it's so sacred of a journey that it's just necessary. It's so necessary. It's really beautiful. Because there's so much light coming through. And if these two parties come back together, it feels like this person's lit up and this person's lit up. And then it's like magnified in the middle. This light is just like magnified between the two, and then when they come back together, they can continue to inspire each other and light each other up, and in a more healthy, balanced way, and in a way where they both just feel like in their own beings they're happier in general, and they know that there's no like if there was ever a codependent dynamic, they know that like that's no longer there. They know that they're good on their own, but they're even better together. And it's just it makes me think of like a power couple kind of thing, which I don't love the idea, but it's a power couple in like we both got our own thing going on, but and this doesn't have to be a romantic thing. This could be friendships or, however it resonates. But, yeah, just two very potent, powerful people who inspire each other and who love each other and magnify each other's greatness. So yeah, sorry, I feel like I'm just going into, I think you get it on that note, on that relationship note there. Okay, I'm going to pull some more. This card really has been wanting to come out this whole time. 5 of Cups. Okay, interesting. Maybe I will pull a couple more just to, then we've got Queen of Cups. Let's see. There's a message here about addressing some disappointment. It's almost like a feeling of disappointment affecting us more than we're allowing ourselves to admit. I think there's a resolution, a resolve wanting to come through with some disappointment. So there's a question here of like, what am I disappointed with? What have I been disappointed with up until now? And this could be like and I'm not saying you should feel disappointed in yourself at all, but it's almost like, where have I felt disappointed in myself, in others, in my life, and how things have turned out? Is there anything lingering there? And if there's not, that's okay. Take this as it resonates. Leave it if it doesn't. But if there is, it just feels like there's something here about past disappointments affecting your ability to fully open your heart and receive the love that wants to come in for you. Receive the joy, the good emotions, the light, the excitement, the beauty, the hopefulness. Like, it's almost like a protective mechanism. I was thinking with the crab on this, there's a crab in the water here. It was making me think of the soft inside with the protective shell, and how maybe we protect ourselves from being hopeful because we've been disappointed in the past. And there's just like spirit saying, like, stop it, stop doing that. We don't have to do that anymore. We never did have to do that. We never had to block ourselves from being hopeful. It was just a protective mechanism. That's all it was. We got disappointed and we hit a low, and we just never wanted to feel that way again. So we kind of dimmed down, and we didn't expect the best anymore. We kind of just were like, well, however it turns out is however it turns out. There's like a more numbing quality to that, and just stop it. That's like, it's so funny how it's coming through. Like, stop that. Like, it's like a slap on the wrist, like a scolding almost. Like, stop doing that. Like, you're allowed to be excited. You're allowed to let the good into your being. Like, you're allowed to know and trust and feel that good things are coming. You're allowed to experience that. That's part of healing. That's part of healing the collective even. Like, you're one piece of the collective, and if we aren't allowing ourselves to be hopeful and to feel good, then there's no hope for anyone. Like, if we can't allow ourselves to let good in, then what does that say about like human beings in general? Like, it's almost like you letting good in helps everybody. It teaches everyone. It puts that energy out there that it's safe to let good things in. So keep doing that. Keep letting good in, and just be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be open. It's okay to know that sometimes you might get hurt, and it's okay to process that hurt and still remain open to the good. So that's the main message from that. One more. 7 of Pentacles. So 7 of Pentacles is about reaping rewards from your labor, from your hard work. It's about patience. And it feels that along this path with this disappointing energy and like not getting our hopes up, it feels like one potential is that we've had a period of time where we were living in our hopes, and we were dreaming big, and we were excited for the future. And then maybe the journey didn't look how we'd hoped, and like maybe it was more difficult than we'd hoped, or maybe the detours we had to take weren't what we wanted, or maybe it was just taking longer, and maybe we just gave up a little bit of hope. And there's this feeling of, you've been sowing these seeds this entire time. And this in particular is a spider with a bunch of different webs. Like, you've been building your webs, and I love that it's pentacles in the webs, because that's like materials. Like, we've been building our webs, like, and eventually it's inevitable that we're going to catch something. And in this case, it almost feels like all at once we're going to catch, like if we've built like little grids or little webs, like we're going to catch multiple blessings all at once. So it's almost like, you know, spring season. Well, you could look at it different ways, like harvest season, where it's time to harvest everything, or spring season when everything finally bursts through this barren ground. You know, it's like all at once. It is season. This time is coming where you're going to collect so many blessings, and you're going to be on higher ground. And yeah. There are fireflies all over this card. That could be a sign, like the time when fireflies start to come out. And that is kind of like late spring, early summer, I think. Fireflies start coming out. So maybe this up next summer, whenever summer's coming up next for you, that could be a really beautiful, abundant time where you're harvesting so many blessings, emotional blessings, material blessings, mental harmony, just all around holistic reaping of rewards is coming. I keep wanting to say something about the spider on there. It's a black widow. Black widows are poisonous. I'm curious. But they're poison as a medicine as well. So I'm trying to think of how this Black Widow really feels like she has something to say here. I mean, I just heard I am with you. It could be a spirit guide that shows up as a spider. I feel like she wants you to dream big. She wants you to re-envision your life from who you are now. Like, having learned what you've learned over this last period, this last phase, reassess like where you're at in your life and clear away and cut away old dreams, things that you thought you wanted. Like, it's okay to bury them in the earth and let them grow into something different. It's okay to let them go and to start fresh. Oh, yes, that feels like a breath of fresh air when I say that. It feels like we can let all of it go. We can literally just bury every single bit of it, and some of it will stay and some of it will go. And that feels so good to do, so refreshing, because you're not the same person you were 3-5 years ago. And we just need a reassessment of where we're going and what we want. Okay, so we've got a few tarot cards here from the Harmonious Tarot. We've got the King of Cups, another king. So far we've got 2 kings and 2 queens, which is kind of nice. Counterpart energy, 8 of Swords, 4 of Swords. Okay, I'm gonna make more room. There we go. I think I want to pull 5. Woo, 4 of Swords kind of is moving around a lot. It almost wanted to be reversed, so I'm going to take note of that. 4 of Swords is about rest, self-care, inner rejuvenation. Like, yeah, okay. 3 of Cups. And the Tower, but I think the Tower kind of wants to be... I don't typically pull reversals, but if it's acting like it wants to be reversed, I do take note of that, so that's kind of what we'll do for now. One more. Again, okay, so the Queen of Cups has come out twice now. So she is a very prevalent energy for you, and she is about feeling so good in her emotional body, in her mental body, in her physical body. She's someone who feels loving and vulnerable, and like, if it's like, to me right now anyway, what's coming through is someone who's not wearing any masks, who doesn't feel the need to wear a mask, who feels like she can just be her most vulnerable, loving, gentle, kind, but emotionally impactful self. She's very motherly. She's very, I don't know if I said nurturing already, but she's very, like, her very being, and just with her exuding her own energy in the way she is. And again, it's making me think of my friend's mom again, which is so interesting that she's come through again. Maybe she's like, I don't know, Kayla, if you happen to be watching this, your mom is here. So that's, but anyway, yeah, just this, like, someone who's just so loving, and it's just comes so natural, and everyone can feel that. And like, people who have been in this person's presence at any point in any part of their life, like, they always remember it. Like, they remember her, they remember that person. And it doesn't have to be a she. I'm just saying her because it's in the feminine, like the queen, you know. But it's one of those people that are just beloved, and they don't even try. It's just because of who they are. They're so just kind, generous, loving, and just beautiful humans. That energy exists inside of you. And it is a feeling, because I do feel like people who are like that aren't even fully aware of just how amazing they are. It's that kind of feeling. Like, there might be this side of you that wants to come out that's giving and generous and loving and supportive. And I was kind of getting this feeling of, like, sometimes an energy like that can be taken advantage of. But it's almost like this feeling of like so much compassion for those she gives to. And this could be you. I'm just expressing like whatever this means to you. But so much compassion for the people you give to, that even when someone takes advantage, or even when someone doesn't appreciate what it is, there's still so much love there. And yes, sometimes we have to set boundaries, but in this scenario, it's this feeling of, I have so much to give. I have so much love to give that I don't even mind, because I'm still existing here in this overflowing love. And so if someone takes advantage of what I'm giving, I don't even feel that, because I'm so immersed and overflowing with, I have more, there's more where that came from. There's always more where that came from. So it's kind of amazing to have access to that much compassion and love and kindness and generosity, that when someone takes advantage of you, you don't even feel it. It's like, that's wild, you know? I mean, if it's, I don't even want to say that though. It's in my head, I keep like, me, the reader, just me and my own energy is like, well, if someone takes advantage of you, you should put a boundary up, you know? Like, and it's like, that's not what this energy is. It's not even worrying. It's almost like the love I exist within is my boundary, and it does the work for me, and I don't even have to worry about that. Like, I'm protected. I'm safe in this love, and it will naturally work itself out if that kind of energy comes in to take advantage of. This love's so sacred and so protected that it naturally will push it back out, just like in a loving, gentle way. Like, yeah, it's interesting. I love that the King and Queen of Cups, those are the two court cards that came out with this deck, the Harmonious Tarot. So counterpart energy is strong. Again, we mentioned that those energies separating and possibly coming back together. And if we're back on that, there is this feeling of, with the King and Queen of Cups being here, because these that came through earlier were the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords. And it's almost like two people going on their respective journeys, so that when they do come back together, they do have the inner strength and whatever it is they needed to do off on their own little journeys, provided the situation where they feel safe and secure and ready to open their heart and offer their hearts to one another, and to be and exist in an emotionally harmonious and loving experience with one another. So again, that's amazing. It's just a necessary part of the journey. So if there is that like clinging or not wanting to let go of someone, like, there's just a gentle nudge to go ahead. It's safe. Like, you will not regret it. This is an important part of your journey. So just move forward knowing and trusting that even if you don't end up with that person, when you decide not to, it's literally your choice, and you'll feel and be on complete board with that. Like, all of you will understand why, because you'll have more access to like newer parts of yourself, and you'll understand, oh wow, oh my God, like, this is who I really am, and this was never compatible with that person. Or it will be, you find your way back, and it's you couldn't have a harmonious relationship without having gone on those paths. So those are like the two potentials. Remaining detached is important, and understanding that there are multiple potentials, you know, with that type of situation. Okay. The Eight of Swords and the Tower are connected somehow. The Eight of Swords is about feeling trapped, but having the key to let yourself out the whole time. It's just a perception that you're trapped. And the Tower is about structures that make you feel secure crumbling. Whoa, I'm almost getting this feeling of feeling stuck or feeling trapped, and being in that mentality has somehow like served a part of your, I don't know if it's like I say your ego or your instincts to preserve yourself, to keep yourself physically safe, It's like somehow, yeah, that like entrapment mentality was like, it wasn't serving you. I'm not saying it was serving you ultimately, but like in the moment, somehow it was serving you. That's super interesting. It feels as though it's crumbling and it's time to crumble. Okay, so it's making me think of, I felt trapped and now I'm realizing I never was trapped. Oh, and that disappointment energy that came through earlier. And it's almost like, well, I'm disappointed in myself. How could I have gone this long holding myself back and feeling stuck and feeling trapped? And now I'm realizing that was all a lie this whole time. And I could have changed my circumstances at any point. And with the Three of Cups, it could be socially based. Like part of this entrapment could be subscribing to other people's mentalities or other people's limitations, or like the culture's limitations, or just other energies that are surrounding you. That's just a thought. But it's more a feeling of, like if you're disappointed in yourself, that's a waste of, it's like almost like this feeling of, please don't linger in that disappointment. You can explore it and be with it and feel it because that's necessary, but don't linger in it because it's not going to help you. For some reason, I just saw a rabbit. I don't know if rabbits are totems for you, but saw a rabbit. Oh, there's a little rabbit there too. Actually rabbits for me always mean you're exactly where you're meant to be. And so with this message, there is a message here that, now I'm kind of rescinding what I said earlier about it not ultimately serving you, feeling trapped, because it almost feels like you were meant to feel that way for quite some time. Like you were meant to stay in one mentality or in one place. Like that trapped energy was like teaching you something or keeping you somewhere because the timing was off, or like it was somehow actually serving you temporarily. And it kept a part of you feeling safe when it just needed to have, like a part of you almost needed that illusion of safety temporarily until you healed something, and then you could let go of that temporary placeholder for like quote safety. And now it's like you're okay to let it go. So I hope that makes sense to you. I know that's kind of like, I went down a little rabbit hole in my mind with that just now. So I hope it came out and made sense. But I think it's just something that temporarily served you, a mentality that temporarily served you. And you have to trust that. And then it's okay to let it go and realize, okay, this isn't serving me anymore. And even to realize, like, I never actually was trapped. I never actually was. But somehow that I needed that to feel safe temporarily. And now it's time to let that mentality go and be free. There's a feeling of this change bringing you, this big change you're going through, bringing you this sense of deep rest. Like I could see like someone leaving a phase that was very difficult and being surrounded by energies that perhaps were just like difficult to exist in, I guess, like, or just like, I just kind of get this feeling of like, when this change occurs in the material reality, like whatever shifts are happening in your mental and your physical and your emotional reality that we've been discussing, you landing in this new reality and just collapsing from exhaustion and like sleeping for like days on end, just like finally feeling safe to like truly let your soul and your body and your being just like rest. And it's like this much needed rejuvenation before you move forward on your next journey. So I do see in the near future, once this change happens, your soul just feeling safe to just let go and like sleep and rest, and like your body like rejuvenating, your body healing, like pains, like chronic pains going away, because I don't know, it's just so much like burden and stress being lifted. And then from that, that's like a whole new reading, you know, like after that, it's like from this new place I'm at after being rejuvenated and rested, then I can like really plan my next steps and really figure out where I'm going, what I'm doing, and how I'm growing. And yeah, like, so we're on board with this change. We're letting it take us into the new territory, and then we're resting. And that's literally like kind of all I see right now. That's all I see. And that's okay. That's okay. Again, we had that message of like burying old dreams and like letting go of all of it and starting anew and envisioning our future from a new standpoint. And some of those old dreams will still remain, and they'll survive that burying, you know, like the sprouts and the seeds will come up, and some of it will be the same. The essence will be the same. Maybe the external representation of that essence might look a little different, but and then some things will have completely transformed and just turned to compost and fed the other dreams that we're now nurturing. So yeah, so lots of change coming, rejuvenations, transformation, and expect miracles to happen. And this can be a peaceful journey. This can be something that feels amazing as you pass through it. And yeah, I just see this peaceful wind just picking you up and landing you and placing you in your new circumstances. And again, the circumstances can be physical, mental, emotional, whatever. This could be a healing that's happening for you. So however that resonates. But yeah, okay. I think group number 1, this is your reading. I know this was a bit long-winded and took us on a few different turns, but I really enjoyed channeling this message for you. If you'd like to be supported by me more deeply, you can join my Patreon. It is a place where I offer 2 in-depth pick a flower readings every month. I try to include and encompass the whole of existence in a way. I offer an externally focused reading every month that is more about your, like what you're manifesting in the world, your life purpose, how you're relating with the people in your life, relationships in general. And then there's an internally focused reading, which is more about your connection to the self, your healing journey, shadow work, light work, your connection to the universe, God. Like, it's more about your internal world and how that looks. And then with that, every month I do offer an infinite prayer, guided visualization, and Reiki blessing. So those are really beautiful every month. The energy in my Patreon is potent and powerful and healing, and I hope to see you in there. But there are some other ways you can support my channel. You could like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. You could leave me a tip / buy me a coffee. Check out other infinite prayer sessions. You can check out my merchandise, which is my Bee and Flowers logo with the phrase "Hello, lovely human" on it, if that sounds cute to you. Or you can check out my other YouTube channel. It is called Soul Harken. It is my heart and soul in video form. And yeah, I think I covered everything. If I didn't, it's okay. Everything is listed down below. Thank you so much for being here. It was an honor to channel these messages for you, and I hope to see you in another reading. Bye. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to the Little Flower Oracle. My name is Krista, and I deliver the messages and frequencies you need to align to your most authentic soul nature and path. For today's reading, I am simply asking the question, are you on the right path? And to preface this, I do not believe there is such thing as, quote, the right path, but my intention for this is to help connect you to where you are on your path, whether or not you can make changes or shifts that would benefit you on your path, and how you can feel more aligned with where you're going. That's kind of more the intention with the reading. We are going to get right into it. I'm going to do a channel message from the purple mom that you chose and see what she has to say to us before getting into the cards. So let's see. Purple mom. Or well, yeah, it's purple. It's kind of like a maroony purple. Purple mom, what do you have to say to group number 2 who chose you? What is your message today for group number 2? Drop out of your head and into your heart. By the way, I just want to mention this. I cut this off. It's like I cut the flower head off and it was like a humor coming through, actually. It was like I was getting this image of like, just cut your head off, cut your mind off. Like it was like too much going on in the head and more needs to drop down to the heart. Anyway, I don't know why I needed to mention that, but it was kind of funny. But yeah, so drop out of your head and into your heart. Your heart space knows more than your mind. Your heart space is more powerful than your mind. Your heart space is more wise than your mind. Your mind is a tool and your heart is the center of your being that is all loving, all knowing, nothing's all knowing. I'm just going to correct that little message. But your heart is your guide. Your heart is your compass. Your heart is the place in which your soul can connect to the world around it. The place in which your soul takes in information, even if it's painful, and can turn that into knowledge and awareness and action in the world to make a positive difference in the lives of others. So connect more deeply to your heart. Make an intention right here, right now. Speak to your heart space. Tell this space in your being, I am sorry for avoiding you. I am sorry for closing you down. I am sorry for not listening to you. I want to listen to you. I want to hear your voice. I want to feel the love that you are. I am ready. I'm ready to exist from my heart space. All right, so that's what the beautiful mom had to say to you. And look how pretty this flower is. Like the way it looks as I turn it is different. It looks almost iridescent. So pretty. All right, I'm going to put her up here and as a presence for us during our reading. I chose a card from the messages from your animal spirit guides for your overarching theme. And we have, not what I expected, the octopus. So water element, it kind of looks goofy. There's like a goofy vibe. Again, there was a sense of humor with the mom at first. So maybe there's something here about your sense of humor. There's something here about making light of a otherwise heavy situation, or using humor to process something. But this says practice shape-shifting by altering your physical appearance and mannerisms. That kind of does make me think of like, it's like you're getting yourself through a difficult moment by like shape-shifting, by using levity and humor to like bypass heavy energies. Sometimes, there are messages that say like, feel the heavy energies, process them, do the shadow work. In this case, I'm almost getting this like feeling, like the feeling that's coming through is like, oh my God, like eye roll, like everybody is in an uproar for no reason, not for no reason necessarily, but like the way in which people are responding to what is going on around me is, I'm finding such humor in it because it feels unnecessary. Like it feels like there's a way to move through this and not like get your panties in a twist about it. Like it's, and I never say that, especially in a reading. So this, yeah, someone has an interesting sense of humor. Or maybe you even have spirit guides that are funny. And I mean, it just really feels like everything's going to be okay. And you are allowed to have a sense of humor through this. And if anybody calls you cold or calls you immature, or like if you're getting like backlash in any way about how you're handling a situation, screw that. Like that, it's almost like this message of like, don't listen to any of that energy. Like, it's okay to process this situation, whatever it is you're going through, with humor. So, okay, that's the main message so far. So there's, just a humor coming through, and we'll see what else comes through. I'm going to pull some cards from the Gateway Oracle deck, and we'll see what else comes through. So, what does group number 2 need to hear right now? Are they on the right path? What can they shift on their path right now? Where are they headed? Let's see what's going on. You are loved for your goofiness and for your humor, and you might already know that, but like, you are so appreciated for your humor by so many people. And if there keeps this message of like, if someone is like giving you shit about your sense of humor, it's like F that. That just keeps coming through. Like, don't give them the time of day. Like, someone should not be, there's an unnecessary poking at your sense of humor, or about like how you use humor in your life. And it's like, it's kind of like, is the word deprecating? Like, it's kind of like poking at a really beautiful, genuine part of who you are. And it's kind of cruel. Like, I mean, that might be an extreme word. In the most mild of that version, it's rude, and it's kind of mean. Like, it's like poking at like such a brilliant part of who you are. And be aware, or beware of energies that might poke at your sense of self, or make you feel bad about like an inherent quality that you have. And it's like an interesting kind of like, so like, for instance, maybe sometimes I do overuse humor, you know, but like, this just feels like this incessant poking at it, and it just feels a little too much. So, okay, so interesting. External energies. And if it's not humor, it's like a really beautiful inherent part of your personality that someone is for some reason getting like triggered by, or like energies are getting triggered by this, or the energy that's more so coming through of like if it were you, it's like you're questioning, there's this part of you that's really beautiful, and like external influences are making you question it. Like, oh, am I being rude? Am I being cold? Am I being too light about something that I should be heavy about? Like, it's almost like it's making you question yourself. And the message is that like, stop doing that, because this is a them problem overarchingly. Okay. So we have emerging into grace. I open my soul to grace. I think that makes sense with what we were just saying. First of all, there's like a cutting away of that external influence, or at least a cutting away of their input into your world for a minute, so that you can breathe and let grace into your being and accept yourself for all of who you are, and all of your quirks, and all of your beauty, and all of your weirdness, and all of the goofy, strange part of your personality that might be misunderstood to some, or even annoy some people. There's this strong message of, in the right energies, like within the right space, you are like, that part of you is honored and appreciated and accepted. And even kind of the word tolerated came through, because it is almost like maybe sometimes it goes a little far, but in the right space, there's just acceptance for that. It's like, it's not this like deal breaker situation. It's just something that is like a quirk. and it's just loved because like in the right places or with the right people, it's loved because you're so loved. Okay. Standing firm. We've got, I'm noble, brave, and strong. It is. It's just this feeling of, I'm going to stand firm in who I am and my personality. Because this is such a beautiful part of who I am. I love this part of who I am. I enjoy it, like, very firmly and very, like, I don't care if anybody else enjoys this part of myself. I enjoy it. So I'm just... And then it's funny that this being is standing on these rocks and then like they're holding a red flag. And like if this is a red flag, like I'm just gonna fucking wave it really loud and proud because it's not a red flag to everybody. It might be a red flag to this person, but I don't care because I love this part of myself. It's accepting a part of yourself that you've had a hard time with or that you've questioned maybe for a portion of your life. It's accepting a part of yourself that maybe even just in the most recent bit of time of your life, other people have questioned or made you feel bad about. It's just that. It's like I'm standing firm in who I am, and whoever kind of like bows out in the face of that, that's up to them. But this is who I am, and I'm not taking, like, I'm just being unapologetic about that. I'm not going to change myself for my environment. I'm not going to change myself for a person. With the shape-shifting message as well, on the flip side, maybe there's been in the past, like, a habit might have been like you changing your personality to fit what someone else wants or might like, you hiding parts of yourself away out of like what you think is maybe a respect for someone else, but really it's more of like a shame for who you are or fitting into a box that is just a box for someone else to it's, how do I put this? I'm having a hard time finding words to put, I'm having a hard time finding words. It just feels like we are finally entering into an era where we are just loving ourselves. We're letting this grace permeate every single cell of our being. And if that ends up making someone fall out of our lives, or if that ends up us having to make that decision to walk away from someone, then so be it. And there almost feels like this initial like cutting away, even if you think, okay, I'm gonna like take some time and retreat and go into solitude to like reacquaint myself with these energies that I've been suppressing to fit in these boxes or whatever it may be, like for society or for this person. And I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna like reacquaint myself, let that grace in, remind myself that I love myself in all these spaces, and then move back out in the world more secure. And then again, it's like, well, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Environments, people, a person, and we might have to make some moves. We might need to cut some people out, or we might, like, they might just naturally fall out because of this new strength and firmness in who we are. Okay, I'm gonna pull some Wisdom of the Oracle cards and see what else comes through. Whew, I have goosebumps. I'm like excited for you because like it feels like the way I'm feeling right now, it's like I feel more whole. I feel more like aware of who I am. I feel more knowing of who I am. And like, it's just a contentment. It's a freedom. It's like a gentle freedom that I haven't ever, or I haven't felt in a while. And it is calm. It's very calm. It's not like a firmness where you're like, I'm going to be myself no matter, like, and I'm standing my ground and I'm standing in my power. And it's just like, it's more like like a calm strength that's coming through, which I love. That's so much more easeful of a transition, just to be like, this is who I am. And okay, I'm okay with whatever happens because of it. Because at least I have all of me now. Okay, come on. We're shuffling the cards. We'll get them. It's coming. Okay. Where is it? Is it this one? Okay, here we go. Number 20 with Imagine. And then we have like this silhouette of like a little girl holding, like, it's like the moon is a balloon. And then, but it's so interesting because this is like heavenly and like daylight and clouds, but then there's like a moon. So there's like a contradiction there. There could be a message to embrace your inner contradictions, the parts of yourselves that seem to not make sense together. But it's like all these aspects of yourself that are so beautiful and so unique, they all fit together in one harmonious blend. And it's making me think of like the micro and then scaling out to the macro. Like the micro is like, you are one person, but if you scale out and you see like an entire ecosystem of people and the harmony that exists within like the collective, you know, and it's like so many, like in a city, for instance, like so many different cultures all like harmonized into one big conglomerate of, I don't know, like I'm just feeling like that. Like you are your own ecosystem. So there's like all these different parts of you that kind of like work together, and they seem like they don't go together, but they do. And it's just like opposites working together harmoniously, and all just like to create the beauty that is you. Okay. We have Fork in the Road, number 13. Okay. Interesting to get that on a where am I on my path, or like am I on the right path reading. Fork in the road. So we are at a fork in the road. We are at a point in our life where we're being called to create change, and we can, or we have at least we have the option to create change. So we can go left, we can go right, or we can go straight. Straight is like that, like stay on the path we're on. We can go left, or we can go, like there are options here. Okay, I'm gonna look at the imagery a little bit more. We have a llama. I love that we have an owl on the back of the llama, because it's like owls represent intuition, and I feel like in like your higher guidance, and I feel like they're there. And then even in the antler, it kind of looks like a little turtle. It's not a turtle, but to me it looks like there's a little turtle in the antler. So there's like this slowness, this like, okay, I'm at this crossroads, but you know what? I don't have to make a choice right away. I can linger in this space for a while. I can take a rest. I can take a break. There's a monkey on top of the sign where all the arrows are, and then there's a fork. The sign is a fork, and then there's a monkey there, and all these little arrows and all the options. That's interesting. Oh, a fork. Oh my God, duh. Like a fork in the road. Okay, that's why it's a fork. I was like, why is it a fork? I was just imagining you, like, you're at your crossroads and you're like, I'm just gonna chill here for a while because I don't exactly know what direction. Like, the owl is like, he's not giving me anything. Like, and the turtle's telling me, like, it's cool to slow down. You can just chill for a minute. But yeah, I was just imagining you, like, eating really good food and just chilling and taking your time and enjoying your moment, it reminds me of the Hanged Man, and tarot is about like a pause, just kind of like letting your perspective shift because you're not ready to make that decision yet. So there's a strong yes to that. There's a strong yes to that energy of that pause. So that's nice. Okay. Do I want to pull more wisdom? I do. I'm going to pull, okay, so we've got Unfinished Symphony with piano keys, a clown. There's like a jester on an egg. And a number 10, which is about like closing out cycles, completion, new beginnings. Number 1, 10. Okay. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? She's got a violin. A couple of birds. It's making me think of using art to process like unresolved things and emotions. While you're in this pause, sorry, I'm eating a piece of chocolate. While you're in this pause, there's this feeling of like writing, using music, using poetry, using painting, like some art form to process how you feel, process where you've been, where you're going, like use it as like a healing mechanism to sort through all the possibilities, all the what ifs, all the what could have beens. It's like we need to like digest a bunch of things before we can make a decision. The chocolate is so good. Again, oh my God, how funny. I was talking about you sitting and like eating food while you wait. And that's what I don't normally really feel so inclined to grab a bunch of food while I'm reading. But like right now I'm like, oh my God, chocolate. Digestion. Like I said, the word digestion, it's like I need to digest everything I've just gone through and everything I've just downloaded and everything I just processed. And like I need to take a minute just to like process this first. And again, through like artistic endeavors, or creative endeavors, like building, like whatever it is you do that is like a more like something you can do that's not work. It's more, how do I put it? Or it's like that autonomic energy. Like you can just do it without really thinking, that kind of thing. I keep imagining someone like building something, like building a shelf, or like you have to think about the building of the shelf, but it's like taking your mind off the actual thing and like working on something else. Or like stream of consciousness writing, where you're not even thinking and you're just writing like whatever comes to your mind, like a processing, like that kind of energy. Sorry if I'm like over analyzing. I feel like I'm talking about this a lot. Okay, I think you get the point about that message. I'm going to go ahead and dig into the Guardian of the Night Tarot and see what tarot cards we get. I like that we have like the actual numbers that we have on these 3 oracle cards are 1, 2, and 3, and 0. Ooh, I like that. We have 0, 1, 2, 3. So zeros reminding me of the Fool, like taking a leap of faith into the unknown, and 1, 2, 3 is the beginning of a new journey. It really feels like there is a new journey ahead of you, a whole new, and like that leap of, there might be a leap of faith that like sparks this new journey. But again, where you're at right now is in the pause, and there's just so much acceptance put around that pause. Oh my God. These cards went flying. Damn, that was crazy. I don't think I've ever had that many cards just like explode out of the deck like that. I feel like maybe there's just, yeah, like with that autonomic writing where you're just like letting all your thoughts and everything just pour through you, like something like that needs to happen. There's so much inside of you that needs to just be like, get out onto paper, get out in the world somehow. So whatever you need to do to make that happen. Pent up energy, yes, like, and it's almost like this feeling of if you just allow yourself this pause and you digest everything and process everything, it will avoid like feeling erratic or feeling like things are just going to explode out of you, and that discomfort that could come with that kind of energy. All right, let's see what else comes through. What does group number 2 need to hear right now? Okay. King of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles. 9 of Cups. Knight of Cups. The bottom of the deck. What? Again, number 10. Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So, this is a fated moment for you. This is a moment where the tides are turning in your life. This is a moment where, when aligned with your soul and your heart, we did have that message to connect more to your heart from the flower. When more aligned with your heart's truest desires, your heart's nature, your soul's nature, and what your soul really wants. And when making decisions and actions from that space, this is a moment where the divine has your back 100% fully. This is not a moment to shy away from taking risks. This is not a moment to continue with the status quo. One way or another, things are changing. This is a moment to step forward into the unknown of your life and hop onto a ride that's going to carry you into an entirely new way of being in your life. One that is so incredibly, is fortuitous the right word? It's just so full of abundance, and it's like you're going to be very lucky. Fortuitous is the best thing I can think of. Like fortune, like great fortune is following you. Great luck. It's almost like Midas touch energy. Like whatever you touch is going to expand and turn to beauty. You're going to find yourself in the right, in the right circles, in the right hands, like around the right people, around the right energies that are going to welcome you in with open arms. It's going to feel right. With the King of Pentacles, it's making me think of business opportunities, work, career opportunities, opportunities for financial abundance. The emphasis really feels it's connected to it's like newer circles that you're entering into that are reflecting back this beautiful abundance to you, and they're enhancing your natural gifts just by being in these circles. Your natural gifts are going to overflow and be so nourished and protected and loved, honored. There's a lot of excitement around what you have to give and what you have to show and share. And another thing I'm just thinking of, that pause moment where there's this encouragement to pursue your artistic, like process things in an artistic way. It feels like there are elements of your creative journey or your, like the way in which you're interacting with your work, that like new ways of experiencing you within your own work and in your own creativity and art, in your art, that you never had access to before. So again, like I'm thinking of the original energies where there were these parts of you that were constantly being like picked at. And it's like, how can you live in your most authentic energy and create from your most authentic space when these beautiful parts of you have been constantly like, and this could even be you picking at yourself. based off of what you expect others would want. And you're just not doing that anymore. You're just accepting what is, no matter what it is, and you're working from that space. What true, authentic inspiration from like a soul place. And like through that, you're just discovering so much about yourself that you never had access to before. And again, you're being, not again, the camera timer timed down. I don't think I said this yet, but like this new era of you entering into these new circles and your new work or your new way of creating and working in the world, it's going to be much more emotionally fulfilling. It's not going to be something that you're having to like feel like you're forcing into existence. You're just falling into it. It's like a creative journey. It's something that's inspiring, exciting, and other people are excited to have you. Like it's this feeling of the new circles you're in are reflecting back to you just exact like your true essence. They witness you, they recognize you, they honor you for your truest gifts. They're excited to have you around. So you're being so well received in a community with what you have to offer. And this is a feeling of more so being like pulled towards something as opposed to trying to like force something to happen. Naturally falling into the flow of something and it just unfolding before you and being incredibly full of like strange luck. And it's like fortune is favoring you. Like it's like because you're like being so authentic and so connected to your truest essence, it's almost like everything becomes like a beautiful flowing journey and you're just on board for the ride and you enjoy every moment of it. So yeah, really beautiful. You're headed towards this beautiful balance of emotional wellness and the material abundance as well. So yeah, you're heading into a really beautiful phase of your life. It's inevitable. It feels inevitable. The only way you could stop this feels like, like, I don't know. This feels inevitable. We could all slow our paths down, but this feels like destined for you. And it feels like with that original energy we got where you're standing firm in who you are from that space, I don't think you can go wrong. There's just, again, sorry, I'm reiterating this message again. Please let yourself take this time to breathe and process what you need to process from your previous cycle so that you can move forward unencumbered by it all and move forward into this fresh new energy. And you're in the pause now, and like what I explained was like that's what's coming. So okay, I want to pull some more tarot from the Harmonious Tarot and see what else we get, and then I think that will be that. Group number 1 was so long. It was like an hour-long reading. That was probably one of the longest readings I've ever done, but it's because I feel so peaceful. Like, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing hour-long readings, but this one feels like it's gonna wrap up a little quicker than that one. But so let's see. Group number 2. What else does group number 2 need to know about their path that they're on? Maybe about this pause. What kind of messages of hope do they need? Let's see. Okay. We've got the Emperor, which kind of felt like it wanted to be reversed, so I'll keep that in mind. I'll just keep pulling and then we'll... 2 of Swords. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. We've got 2 more. The World. That's about completion of cycles. I've mentioned that quite a bit. And then we've got in the center here, the Magician. So part of this pause is going to be about you finding your center of power and aligning it to your heart space. So your knowing of just what you're capable of, your knowing of your power to create in the world, and knowing that, like, of your ability to harness your resources to create something beautiful, to create whatever it is you want. And aligning that to your soul and to your heart space, and like, it's almost like that is a gift of yours, to like, manifestation is a gift of yours, your ability to create something out of nothing, like your power to do so. It's like a gift, but when it's more aligned with the mind and what the mind thinks it needs to create, it's still powerful. But when it's aligned with the soul and the heart, it's like unstoppable, and it's beautiful. And what you end up creating is so powerfully and positively effective to the world around it. And it's like, what you create from the heart and the soul, like, its beauty is undeniable, and it like ripples out into like the collective consciousness and collective soul of humanity. And like, so like, a lot of, I mean, creativity and artistry is coming through a lot in this reading. And there's just something that's meant to be birthed through you and created through you and sent out into the world. And as you do it, it will feel right, and will feel like, this is what I was always meant to create. And like, that's what the artistic journey is meant to feel like. And there's like an intensity in the heart that I'm feeling right now. So the beginning of that stage of creation might feel kind of intense, but it will settle down. That's what it feels like. It will settle down and feel more natural over time. But this creating from the heart space is just, maybe it's even somewhat of a new experience. Maybe we more have created from a mind space more often before, or at least maybe our creations from the heart space, maybe like we haven't felt vulnerable enough to share it. I don't know what the case is, but there's just this newness, this like intensity coming through. With the Ace of Pentacles being here, it feels like whatever we're creating, there's a potential for financial reward from it. Okay, so with the Emperor being next to the Two of Swords, and it was kind of like wanting to be reversed a little, it feels like, okay, so the Emperor is this like strong, secure, masculine energy. Like, I've created this empire, I've created this structure. But reversed, it can be rigid, it can be controlling. There is this feeling of, and then with the Two of Swords being about like indecision and having to go within and look and find your intuition and make a decision from an internal space. It feels like there needs to be a shift around how you've been. That might be part of the pause. Like, there might be some things you're afraid to let go of because they've provided you a sense of security, or even you've put so much work into them. And it's like, almost like you're realizing, like, some of these things have been holding me back. Some of these things are authentic to who I really am. I'm afraid to let go of them, but it feels like the right thing to do. And I will say, there is a message that some of these things might need to be let go of for now, or maybe even like a complete surrender of your life, because everything's kind of mixed in together. Like, some things are meant to be kept, some things are meant to be let go of. And it's almost like this confusion of like, I'm just going to surrender it all. And there's a message here that some of it will still stay. Some of it's valid. Some of it's still a part of like the tapestry of your soul and is meant to stick around and be a part of that inner sense of security for you. But some of it's meant to go. So there's just like a feeling of, you're not chucking all of it, you're just surrendering it. And you're trusting that what's meant to stay will stay. So that could be part of the the pause moment as well, because you can't make a decision with this crossroads. Like literally Two of Swords is is like a crossroads, like a fork in the road. Like we got to figure out what we're doing here. And that's what's holding you back. So surrendering, letting go, like complete, it sounds crazy, but like complete surrender of all of it. Maybe not making any rash decisions in the physical just yet, but this is more of like an internal and spiritual surrender where we're just surrendering it all up and trusting that it's going to be okay. Yeah. So one way or another, you are at the culmination of a cycle. It feels as though the cycle is already ended and you're literally in that moment where like that wheel of fortune is turning, and you have to rest here while it, I don't know, like or even it almost feels like a clock, and like there's like, it's on like 59, and it's like between 59 and then 0, you know, like we'll say like 11:59 and 12. Like you're in that last minute, and that last minute's meant to be that no action yet and just pause and process and surrender, and then that hand will click, and then it's like almost like you'll be animated and activated, and you'll know exactly what to do. So trust that when you won't miss that cue, and you'll know what to do. But it will be easier to know what to do if you, again, we've got 21. So we've got like 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, like new beginnings for sure. And 4 is the Emperor, is security. So, yeah, you're safe, and take this moment to breathe and know that you're protected and you won't get it wrong. Trust yourself, and know that when the time comes, you'll be animated to do what's right for you, and you'll know what's right for you. So just don't worry about it right now. You'll know you'll just know. So, okay, I think that's it. I think that is your message. I mean, are you on the right path? Like, absolutely you're on the right path. But there is this message of just use this time for what it is. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the past. Just be here. And if you take this time to process and surrender and dive into your authentic nature and being unapologetic about that, that's the fertile ground for the next step to come through you. So there is somewhat of an urgency around that message. Like, come back down to the present moment. Take this time as an opportunity, because it won't always be this way. So that there is somewhat of an urgency there. I just want to like relay that. But okay, alrighty. Thank you so much for being here. This was your message group number 2. If you'd like to be supported by me more deeply, you can join my Patreon. I offer 2 in-depth pick a flower readings every month on there. One is more internally based, which has to do with your connection to the self and your healing journey. And one is more externally focused, which is more about your life's purpose, how you're affecting the world around you, what you're creating and manifesting in the world around you. With the internal reading every month, I offer an in-depth infinite prayer, guided visualization, and Reiki blessing as well. So if that sounds interesting to you, there is a link down below. If you'd like to support my channel in other ways, you can like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. You can leave me a tip / buy me a coffee. Check out other infinite prayer sessions. If you'd like to check out my merchandise, it is my bee and flowers logo with the phrase "Hello, lovely human" on it. Really cute. I also have another YouTube channel. It is called Soul Harken. It is my heart and soul in video form if you'd like to check that out. Thank you so much for being here. I'm honored by your presence, and I hope to see you in another reading. Bye. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to the Little Flower Oracle. My name is Krista, and I deliver the messages and frequencies you need to align to your most authentic soul nature and path. For today's reading, we are asking the question, are you on your right path? Where are you on your path? And are there any messages that you need to help you to stay aligned on your soul's most authentic path? So I like to preface this by saying there is no such thing as a right path. We are on a human journey, and it is ever winding, ever changing, and we will make mistakes. That's a guarantee. But this is just some comfort on your path, kind of confirmation on your path, and any messages that might help you to stay connected to your soul through it all. So you chose group number 3 with the fuchsia carnation. Gorgeous flower. And whoa, let me see something. I've never noticed, are they called stamen inside of a flower? I didn't know carnations had those. Look at that. Wait. Oh man, you can't see it because it's too dark. There are like little stamen in there. That's so interesting. Aren't those like something that has to do with like fertilization? I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm doing a channeled message from the carnation. So let's see what she has to say to you. Let's see our opening energies here. All right, carnation. What do you have to say to group number 3 about where they're at on their path? And if they're aligned. Freedom. The word freedom came through. Freedom as an ideal. Freedom as a mission. Personal freedom. Okay. Part of your purpose is to help people align to their own sense of personal freedom. Freedom means something different for every human being. And part of your mission and purpose in this life is to first and foremost align with what freedom means to you and to manifest the circumstances, situations, relationships that reflect back to you fully an experience of true sovereignty and freedom within your own being, and then interpret that in some way in the world where when others interact with you or your work, they are inspired to ignite that within themselves, whatever freedom means to themselves. This fuchsia color, I had my eyes closed and I was seeing like shots of purple and fuchsia, so this could be a significant color for you. Crown chakra energy, heart chakra even, like with the pinkish. There's just a feeling of spirit guides coming through, color and light coming through. There is a message to shoot for the stars in your life, to shoot for true freedom and to be unapologetic about it, because your freedom means others' freedom. And that's such a beautiful thing. So you are worthy of whatever freedom means to you. So there is such like an encouragement to let it into your life. Like, let yourself be free. Free yourself. Because you're going to help others free themselves. You have to free yourself first. So you're going to share that freedom. So if there's any guilt or worry about you being free and others not, that's the opposite of this message. You have to free yourself first to teach others to free themselves or to help free others. So yeah, free yourself, be unapologetic about it, and know that it's a door open for, you're opening doors for so many others to be free as well. So yeah, okay. Love that message. I'm going to set this carnation right up here to be a presence for us during our reading tonight. So I picked an overarching theme card from the messages from your animal spirit guides, and you got cheetah. Whoa. Oh my God. Cheetahs are fast, and like that energy that was coming through, I was like seeing like shooting purpley energy, and it was pretty fast. So, okay, this says, get clear on your intention. Stay focused and move quickly to achieve your goal. Okay, so like imminent freedom, imminent like freedom of expression, like freeing yourself of something that's held you back for a while is like, it just feels like now. It's almost so imminent, it's now. Yeah, like a new level of freedom is emerging in your being right now. Okay, I want to go ahead and just dive right into the Oracle and see what else comes through. So I'm going to pull Oracle cards from the Gateway Oracle. See what we have. Does group number 3 need to hear about their soul's path right now? Okay. I don't know. Quick like a cat, quick like a cat. That was like shooting through my brain, like quick like a cat. Like pivoting, maneuvering, making moves. If you've been in a period of stagnancy, that is changing for sure. It feels like you're not even, like that's not even a thing anymore. Like slow movement, what's that? No, that's not a thing. I'm pivoting, I'm moving, I'm agile, I'm changing, I'm adjusting, I'm shifting, I have the ability to alter my like pivot on a dime. Like if something's presented to me, I can make a decision in the moment. I know what I'm doing. I'm trusting my intuition. This says my life is truly guided. Freeing yourself. There's a keyhole here. We're in this fall season, and then the key, and you look through the keyhole and it's like summer and a river and mountains, and we're entering into a new reality. Maybe we're walking away from a place of shedding skin, a place of healing, a place of release, into a place of lush beauty and connection and ever flowing abundance. Yeah, and there is this feeling of just being sharp and aware and focused and knowing exactly where we're going, exactly what we're doing. There's no questioning of our intuition. There's no questioning of our steps. We feel so in touch with our instincts. We feel so alive and aware and present and connected and yeah, like a cat, you know. Our next one is embracing the future. Again, with an open door here. I mean, we've got the keyhole here, and then we have an open door and someone walking through it. Again, with the river and the mountains. Going to mountains or a place where there is river and mountains could be significant. I just want to mention that because it's twice in both of these cards. So yeah, really beautiful. It says, I step into the future with an open heart. All right, so I want to pull some more Oracle cards and see what else comes through. This is a really fun, light, beautiful, connected, free energy. I love it. Okay, cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle. Let's see what we get. Well, this one definitely wanted to come out. Yep, these two. Okay, cool. We have... truth be told, I could see this being out right now. And then this talks about stepping into the future with an open heart. And then we have this owl here standing on a mask. The door, it's like a window. And the window is in the heart space of the owl, and the windows are open, and there's like blue sky. There are rose petals and hearts like flying out of this window. So this is someone sharing and spreading their love. This is someone speaking. We've got truth be told here. This is someone speaking the truth about their feelings, about their love. This is someone being like unapologetic in their passion, in what they want. With the owl here, very much like with trusting your intuition, and the owl here, owls to me are about your intuition, being connected to your intuition. So I really love that there's an owl with this open window and the hearts and the love pouring out. And it's like, I know in my spirit, in my soul, in the deepest parts of me that I am meant to share and spread this love, spread this news of this love, to open my heart and just be vulnerable. And I'm ready to do that. So that's really beautiful. We'll see what context that's in a bit. And then you also got poised with number 48. So for me, poised is this feeling of like being ready for something, like readying yourself. And then it's like, I'm poised to make a decision, or I'm poised to take this leap of faith. Like, it's almost like there's this feeling of like, if we kind of connect it to this, like expressing our heart thing, like, it could be like I'm preparing myself to, there's almost like a preparing myself to be open. I'm preparing myself to have that moment where I am expressing my truth. And it really feels like love. It's like an emission of love. And then with the mask being under the owl, it's like I'm no longer wearing the mask. I'm just being honest. And that's such a free, like this picture of this fairy here. I'm almost getting also a feeling of like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't need to be perfectly ready for this. I'm just going to free myself. I can fly off of this podium at any point. I always had that ability. Yeah, well, we'll see what else comes through. I'm going to pull some tarot from the Guardian of the Night tarot and see what else comes through. It is, gosh, like in the cheetah and like a race analogy came into my head. I was like, I heard like ready, set, go, like the poised energy, like ready, set, okay, go. Like, and then it's like taking a leap or what, just finally making those steps forward. But what are the steps? I'm still kind of, there's just like a launch feeling, like I'm about to launch myself. I'm about to, yeah. Like all like elements have come together. Everything is poised and ready for this shift to happen. The moment comes and I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. I'm connected to my intuition. I'm fully able to express myself or to make decisions when this moment comes, to make a change or to shift my reality. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, the High Priestess, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords. Okay. The bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Wands, which I will set right over here. You might not be able to see it very well, but I will keep this card in mind. So with the two fours, first of all, being present, it feels there is a deep need for a sense of security and groundedness in your being right now. You're putting an emphasis on that. If you've been in a phase where you've been focusing more on root level issues such as financial abundance, or even just getting by financially, material needs being met, emotional and material needs, like base level needs, root. Like if you've been focused more on root level healing, root chakra issues, basically. Security, your sense of safety, your sense of belonging. There's a strong like confirmation around that, like placed around that, saying you have been focusing on the right things. This is exactly what you've been meant to focus on. So however long it's been, this has been your focus. And I will say, like, especially when we're healing root chakra issues, that's not the most fun stuff to heal. That's like your deepest insecurities, that's ancestral wounding, that's childhood wounding, anything that gets in the way of you feeling safe in your body and safe in the world. If that's kind of what we've been focused on, and then of course material security as well, you've done the right thing. There is a very strong emphasis and confirmation of this is where you've been meant to be. Like, if that makes, is that even grammatically correct? This is where you've been meant to be. Yeah, sure. But yeah, so trust that where you've come from or where you're coming from, that journey and that phase was incredibly necessary for your overall holistic abundance, health and wealth, happiness and joy, and alignment with your truest nature and your highest path and your biggest impact in the world. That was something that was brave and a powerful thing to do, yet like it was like necessary for you to end up where you're going to end up. So in particular, the Four of Pentacles is about like holding on to what you have and keeping it secure and protecting it at all costs. And then the Four of Cups can be about boredom and stillness, or sometimes it can be about turning down opportunities. Again, there's so much confirmation for where you're coming from. If there's been a place where you felt like you were not living up to your highest potential, or not living like the most exciting life because you were more focused on these root level things, there's just like, no, like anything that's been questioning your decisions to focus on this element of life and make you feel guilty, like you're not living it up or living the best life you can, or connecting to more people, or to like experiencing, like having more exciting adventures or experiences. Those are coming. I mean, just everything that we just mentioned from the beginning, there was like all this beautiful, open energy that was like powerful and connected and exciting. That's where you're headed. And we wouldn't feel safe in those energies or be able to even embrace what's coming for us had we had not focused on all of this. So you've done an amazing job of protecting, like I want to say, like your family, healing your family, healing your roots, healing your, like that means like your ancestry and your just healing on the cellular level. You've done what you needed to do, and you did an amazing job. And there's just such like joy and pride coming, like surrounding this past era of healing from your spirit guides, your spirit team, like the divine. Like there's so much joy and pride that you walked through that difficult time, that slower time, and you did what you had to do, because now they can guide you into this beautiful experience where it feels very like impactful so far. The energies that are coming through are very like you're going to be able to make an impact in the world around you in a positive way, but you're also going to be able to live your dreams. So Was it you guys? Was it your flower that was talking about freedom and sovereign? Yeah, it was. Sorry, I don't know why. Like, time is morphing super weird right now, and me channeling a message from your flower felt like forever ago. But it was saying you stepping into your sovereignty and your freedom is going to free other people. Okay, I was like regrouping with that message. I'm trying to make sure I remember it, because damn, that was like 2 hours ago, apparently. Like, in my mind, that was 2 hours ago when I channeled that. That's crazy. I wonder if that's a message for like the path, like the new era you're stepping into. This old era where everything was slow and where you're working on like this day-to-day ground level stuff. It almost feels like you're going to shift really quickly, and then all of that is just going to feel like ages ago. It's like bittersweet. It's like that's going to be a relief and feel amazing, but it's also going to be kind of like sad in a way, because yeah, I almost want to tell you to honor where you're at right now, because it's like changing. It's going to change quickly, and there's going to be a little bit of sometimes nostalgia for this time, even though as hard as that is for you to believe. It's like sometimes difficult times, like even though they're difficult, we can miss them. There can be beautiful things that we're not even aware of that are going on. So just be perked up to what is around you, and gratitude for what is around you, and remain in that space as best you can, because things are changing soon. Yeah, with the Ten of Swords is about endings. And I'm almost getting like this past phase has been like an ending in itself, and like a difficult ending at that, and you having to walk through that has been kind of harrowing and just very difficult. I don't know how else to describe it. That aligns. Okay, yeah, we have the Nine of Pentacles. That aligns with that original message of self-sovereignty and freedom. High Priestess is about connecting to your magic and your intuition. And Page of Wands is about being inspired and taking action on new ideas. And the Raven is protective. I think I'm going to pull some more tarot to get some more clarity. Nothing's really coming through. There is almost like a slow, stagnant energy that I'm like just aware of right now within these lower cards. And it's so opposite of what came through in the beginning with the cheetah. But yeah, we'll pull some tarot to bridge these energies and see what's going on. How are we moving from this slower energy to that focused, present, excited, connected energy, expressive energy, masculine energy. Okay. What is the bridge here? Okay. Okay. Two of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. Damn. All Pentacles. And then the Six of Swords. Okay. And then... Nope. We'll leave it at that for now. So there's really something that's being grounded onto the earth with all these Pentacles cards. And you're being carried into a calmer space right now. So you are unifying two parts of yourself. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who knows their worth. They are able to manifest in the material world, create and provide in the material world. They are connected to their intuitive awareness of how they are of the earth, and the earth responds to their own energy, and how they can be in balance with the earth and the abundance of the earth, and they can use their resources to make and create new resources. And so they're this ever-flowing, abundant, resourceful, like all providing being. And the Five of Pentacles is an energy of lack. So I'm getting this feeling of this part of you that knows that you're worthy of abundance and knows that you are abundance itself. And there's just a unification happening within your being that is connecting like a higher awareness of what abundance means to the earth plane. And so like a previous energy might have been like being connected to the earth planes equals living in lack. And you are reconciling that and canceling that. And that is no longer a program in your being. And the new program is, I am powerful. I am a master manifester. I have all the resources I will ever need to create more resources. And I will always have all the resources I will ever need to create more resources. And I will always have not only enough, but an ever-flowing, overflowing amount of resources to feel satiated, to feel content, to feel even, there's like a sense of opulence and luxury coming through, a healthy and balanced and connected to the earth opulence and luxury. And not only that, but I'm able to share that and spread that with others. I'm able to, and that could be part of this freeing yourself. Like I've freed myself from feelings of lack and feeling trapped in lack and living in a physical experience of lack. And I know I'm worthy of this abundance and this luxury and this opulence and this satiation in the physical world. And because I've found my way into this in a healthy state, in a balanced state, I am able to share my knowledge and my wisdom and my frequency and my energy and what I had to process. It's almost like what you went through and processed carries a frequency in itself. So when you transmit that frequency out into the world through your voice or through your art or through your work, whatever it may be, that carries in an energetic way and expand throughout the soul of humanity. And the root, we'll call it the root of humanity. We did talk about, come on. Yes, absolutely. This past phase of root chakra work has been insanely helpful and abundant, because not only is it healing you, but you're going to take that and you're going to feed that into the collective consciousness of humanity, the root of the soul of humanity, and it's going to help heal the lack feeling, the poverty feeling. That's a part of what's wrong in the world. That impoverished energy and the way it's reflected back in the income disparagement in the world and just the way things are, and greed, and it's all connected. And poverty and greed are two sides of the same coin. So you healing that poverty energy within your being is healing greed as well. That's a really beautiful thought. That is a really beautiful thought. I love that. That's bringing that power to heal greed into your hands and to indirectly but yet directly influence the state of the world when it comes to that. So that's really beautiful. I love that. I love that energy. that's part of this bridge to this next phase of your life. Things are calming down. Things are getting more peaceful. Things are making more sense. The pressure you once put on yourself to, or the weight of the world that this feeling of lack had on you, doesn't hold any weight anymore, and you're effortlessly existing in abundance in the material, and it feels natural. And there's just this feeling of like, why did I ever put so much pressure on it or try to control it so much? Like, this is just who we are and who we're meant to be and how we're meant to experience life. And so it's so natural that I never had to try to control it. I never had to try and force it to happen. All I had to do was trust and let go and fall into a flow, and it would feel easeful and effortless. And the only thing that got in the way of it feeling natural and easeful and effortless to exist in abundance was my internal resistance around it and my internal subscription to a lack programming. And even with this card here, with this 5 of Pentacles card, where there are these 3, they look young in the picture. I think they almost look like young, like women, like young children, like 12-year-olds. You know, it's almost like you have such compassion for that part of yourself. And it could be, I mean, the feelings of lack could have been inherited through growing up. It could be from your childhood and the indoctrination of that mentality. So it's almost like that compassion, and like you're the Queen of Pentacles now, and all you have is compassion and love for the part of you that was subscribed to this lack mentality, because it was your child self, really. She didn't know any better. That's just all she knew. So there's just so much love there, and I think that's why there's such a reconciliation between that higher knowing of yourself and that lack and the material world. There's so much reconciliation happening, especially in the material world and in your heart and in your being, and it's all like balanced and finally making sense and feeling calm and steady and real, and it's really lovely. And it's not what you thought it's not how you thought it would feel. You're not like riding a high or over, like, there are moments of exuberance and joy and gratitude that are overwhelming, but for the most part it just feels strong and steady and solid and safe. And had you not walked through what you just walked through with these root chakra fears and healing and whatever it was, you wouldn't have been able to make it to this place of abundance and trust in this abundance. So just trust your path. No matter what it looks like, you're following your soul's path, and just trust it, because it's all there. Like, the puzzle pieces all fit together perfectly, and hindsight, you'll see it. So just trust where you're at. What's the 2 of Pentacles here? That's what I'm curious about. It almost feels like it's like a river's coming this way, and then with the 2 of Pentacles, that's like the ultimate bridge, because it's like we were talking about all that like fast-paced energy and like knowing what to do when the moment is right. And 2 of Pentacles is this balancing and juggling of lots of different energies or different tasks, but it's like this beautiful, effortless flow and response and connectedness to your work and to your day-to-day, and feeling joyous in it. And like, especially with this picture, like, look at her. It's like she's got a lot going on, but she just feels so happy and balanced, and she's got like flowers held in her dress. Like, she's got all the like elements that she needs to carry a lot, and to balance a lot. So it really feels like you're entering into this fun, balanced, busy, but like busy in a positive way. There's so much energy available that's so like effortless and light. It's like we're existing on a different plane of existence, where we're just we feel like much younger, we feel much lighter, we feel much happier and joyous and in harmony with our environment and with our flow. And so wherever we're headed, it really is just this: needs are met, base level needs are met, there's overflow, I'm living in luxury and joy, but there's balance at the same time. I'm not overdoing it, I'm not underdoing it, I'm just existing. My intuition is powerful. My intuition and my connection to how I'm channeling in this abundance and how I'm taking responsibility for it, and my decisions are all balanced. Like I know in my heart and in my being and my soul and my body how to manage this and how to process this and how to grow it and how to expand it. It just all is starting. It feels natural and loving, and I feel all this support all around me. Like I'm me as in you, like I'm saying me, but this is the energy you're about to embody. It's like I feel all this support in the spirit world, all this, like the material is responding to spirit. I'm so viscerally aware of the material responding to my soul's calling and my soul's greatest intention, and knowing of my worthiness of complete abundance and self-love and that luxurious energy, that luxurious connection to the material. It's just so easeful. It's just so like this is how it's always meant to be and has always meant to have been. And there's no guilt, there's no feelings of unworthiness. It just is. Like this is how everyone's meant to feel. It just is. Of course there's no guilt around this. This is how nature feels. This is how balance feels. This is right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. So moving forward, we're entering into an inspiring and fun and loving and open and honest. And again, the word maskless. We're ourselves. We're joyous. We're free. We're held in a beautiful way. There's room for all of us here. We're acting on inspired guidance. I want to pull one more tarot card. Aw, the moon. Aw, I kind of love that for this in a weird way. It's like there's this feeling of one last... Oh my gosh, wow. Look at this. Look at this moon card. So the way she's... Okay. So I'm thinking of my moon is in Virgo, and I'm thinking of like final touches and details, and I'm thinking like the landscape of your subconscious when it has referred to like worthiness, material abundance. It's like the landscape of your subconscious. You are finally... It's like you're finishing up those last final touches, and you're placing everything just so. You're tending, like there's a plants you're tending to. Everything's in order. Everything's perfect exactly how it is. Your animal companions here, like your guides. There's a lobster here, like they're all here helping you. They've all been here helping you this entire time, and everything's just exactly as it should be. So all of this root chakra work comes to this culmination and this completion, and it's this steadiness. No longer does this lack define you. No longer is it affecting your ability to live in peace in the material. You no longer fight with the idea of money or money itself. You no longer fight with whether or not you deserve to live the material life that your soul's called to. You're just existing in it. You know you're worthy of it. And you know every human being is worthy of feeling that way too. And your mission is to make sure that you do as much as you can to help other people find it as well. Help other people heal as well. Alrighty, I think that is your message, group number 3. Really beautiful message. I'm so honored to be here in your presence and guide you through this journey. If you'd like to be supported by me more in depth, I do have a Patreon. In my Patreon, I offer 2 in-depth pick a flower readings every month. One is more internally based, which is focused on your healing journey, and one is more externally focused, which is more about what you're manifesting and your life purpose. With the internal reading, I do offer an infinite prayer, guided visualization, and Reiki blessing every month as well. So there's a link down below if you're interested in that. Some ways that you can support my channel are to like, comment, or subscribe. You can check out my merchandise, which is my bee and flowers logo with the phrase "Hello, lovely human" on it. You can leave me a tip / buy me a coffee. Check out my other infinite prayer sessions, or you can check out my other YouTube channel. It is called Soul Hearken. It is my heart and soul in video form. Thank you so much. If I missed anything, everything's listed down below if you want to be supported by me or support me in return. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'm honored by your presence, and I hope to see you in another reading. Bye.